Good afternoon, Noah. I hope you've had a restful half-term and ready for term 2. As some of you are aware, it is Children in Need on Friday the 14th. We would like to support the BBC Children in Need charity. Therefore, we are having a non-school uniform day on the Friday the 14th of November. However, this isn't any non-school uniform day. We have a theme of heroes and heroines. There are a few rules to follow. You must dress up as a real person or fictional character from literature. No skin colouring of any sort. No explicit language or explicit images on clothing, and no revealing clothing. To participate in the fancy dress non-school uniform day, you must bring in £1 on Friday the 14th. This will be collected in the morning by the students' entrance. This will be run as a college competition, so remember to place your pound into the correct college coloured bucket. Every pound raised will go to children in need, and college points will be awarded for every pound. There will also be a variety of games, competitions that Mr Shakespeare and the Year 7s will be running, so listen out to these during Tutor Notices, next week's podcasts and assemblies. Not only will Friday be a fancy dress day, we also have a drop everything and read. Your teachers will be bringing inspirational and exciting fiction, non-fiction, autobiographies and much more into your normal lessons. It's a real chance to learn more about the subject outside of the classroom. You can link your hero or heroine costume to someone inspirational in the subject you will have on Friday the 14th. Next, I'll hand you over to our chaplain, Becky Smith, who will be talking about Guru Nanak and why this week is important and how we can use his teaching in our school ethos.
It's often said that the world is getting smaller. It's increasingly easy to communicate with people wherever they are on the planet, either by actually going there or just talking online. The benefit of this is that most people's experience of the world is actually getting larger. The days when someone could live their whole life in the same community and never meet anyone of a different race, culture or religion are long gone. We live in a multicultural, multi-faith, multiracial society. Prejudice is pointless in a world where there is such wide diversity of people. But people have been saying this for longer than you might think. 500 years ago, a man named Guru Nanak tried to do something about prejudice that he saw in his society. He founded the religion of Sikhism, and on the 6th of November, Sikhs all over the world will be celebrating his birthday and remembering his teachings and achievements. Nanak lived in a place called Sultanpur, which was ruled by Muslim sultans, although most of the people were Hindus, including Nanak. He was popular and people would often gather at his home to listen to him sing and to discuss the big issues of the day. There were lots to discuss. There were lots of injustice between people, and the poor were often treated very badly. Nanak desperately wanted to do something about the way people were treated, but he didn't know what or how. Then, when he was about 30 years old, Nanak had a strange experience that was to change his life forever. Like many people at that time, Nanak began each day by going down to the local river at dawn to wash and pray. One morning he didn't turn up for work. Everyone assumed that he must have drowned, but then 3 days later he was spotted sitting calmly on the banks of the river. He didn't say a word for a whole day, and then finally he spoke. There is no Hindu or no Muslim. No one knew what he meant. Had he gone mad? Of course there were Hindus and Muslims. There were Hindus and Muslims all over the place. But then he went on. Thousands of people call themselves Muslims, and thousands of people call themselves Hindus. But they have all forgotten what their religions teach. All Hindus and all Muslims are sons of the same Father, God. So they are brothers and should live together in peace. So what happened to him during those 3 days that he was missing? Nanak described how he had been standing in the water and praying as usual, when he'd suddenly found himself standing before God. God told him that when he returned to earth his mission was to share the truth, that God is the God of all religions. From that day on, Nanak was known as Guru, which means teacher, and his followers were known as Sikhs, which means peoples. Today, Sikhs celebrate Guru Nanak's birthday by meeting together and reading through their holy book non-stop for 48 hours. They also have a meal with their community and may celebrate with fireworks in the evening too. You might believe in something very strongly. It might affect the way you live your life, give you great comfort, and you might find that you can't imagine living your life without it. And that's fine, but there are other people who believe just as passionately about something else. You will have opposing views on many things, but there are also things that you will agree on. Take football. A Tottenham fan and an Arsenal fan will never agree on who has the better team or who has the better players, but they can all agree that they like football. And imagine how boring football games would be if everyone supported the same team. Diversity can cause problems, but it also makes life more interesting. It also helps progress. If everyone agreed on everything the whole time, nothing would ever change. So difference is good, and we must learn to respect it and work with it. Noah is a community full of people with different beliefs, ideas and opinions, and as a school, our ethos is to make everyone feel welcomed and valued. So this week, try and think about Guru Nanak's message and do your best to make sure that you help everyone around you to feel valued and included, regardless of the differences between you.